protests held in Minneapolis after a woman shot dead by U.S. immigration agent. Rob, I think you probably have a few different clips. Is that the protesting going on right now in Minneapolis yesterday or 2 days ago? So this story, when it first came out, you know, J.D. Vance said it best. I think there's a clip on it because is there any clips that we have of the cars? Well, of course, we're not going to maybe show the main clips, but do you have any clips, Rob, to show what happened? Is this the one? Okay. So this is the clip that we all saw. Actually, no, this isn't the clip that we saw. The clip we saw was the other one showing the fact that the ICE agent was, defending himself and shooting. And then this clip gets shown. Go ahead, Rob, from
that's
a different angle.
Speed. Yeah, that's real time. Boom. What are you doing? Whoa.
So she drives over the ICE agent.
She's trying to.
Okay. She drives over
I'm going to say she was in a crazed, she was not in the right frame of mind, number one. I would say anybody who...
Rob, let me go to Vinny first. I'll come to you. Go ahead, Vinny.
Rob, I get where you're coming from. I want everybody to know first and foremost, okay? If she hadn't been committing a crime,
she'd be alive.
She would still be alive. Interfering with federal law enforcement and obstructing a federal officer is a crime under law. And let me tell you where it is. Under 18 U.S.C. 111, it's a federal crime to forcefully assault, resist, oppose, impede, intimidate, or interfere with any federal officer while they're performing official duties. That's
absolutely.
number one. Number two,
she hit 5 out of 7.
It doesn't take away from the tragedy. What I want to dig into, you're 100% right, 100%. But however, you got to know that in any tragedy, there's a confluence of things that are combined to set the stage for this tragedy. I mean, the fact that there's been this overwhelming rhetoric against, federal officers in this nation, this hateful rhetoric, the demonizing, the calling them Nazis and fascists, and creates this situation where people who are vulnerable will put themselves in harm's way, which is what happened. And it's very similar to like the social contagion, which is thankfully shrinking now, of transgenderism, where these kids who are vulnerable, and a high percentage of them, upwards of 80% of these kids who identify as trans, are vulnerable kids who are on the spectrum of autism. Yep. So you have a social contagion there. You had the social contagion of fear during COVID. So you just have these people that are being manipulated through emotion to not make decisions that are in the best interest of themselves and put themselves in harm's way. So while I say I agree with you 100%, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a tragedy, and doesn't take away from the fact that that was a preventable tragedy. And I mean that. I mean, yes, he was hit, and yes, he's not going to be convicted, obviously. But this is an officer that already got into a situation where he got injured by a car and had stitches in his legs and stuff.
Dragged 300 feet by an illegal that they were trying to arrest for, guess what? Assaulting a 9-year-old minor, like sexually assaulting. So that's why this guy is, by the way, obviously, I'm not saying it's going to make him a little on edge, but first, if you think about it, Rob.
I think that guy should not be in the field after that. I just do.
But I mean, think about it. He loves his job so much that even after that.
He loves his job so much, but I think at a certain point you have to make decisions that the individual officers don't get to make.
Let me ask you a question. Where's the accountability? I'm going to pick one guy. Tim Walz calling them ICE, Gestapo.
I'm saying that's insane.
Yeah, no. And what I'm saying is, but this girl
that is a political warfare.
No, but there's no accountability for them. How many times have they been calling these people?
Do you have the J.D. Vance clip?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying that's not wrong.
It clearly, and then Rob, respond to this. Go ahead, Rob.
Actually,
the other
here,
Rob. Go ahead, Rob. You go.
Well, no, I'm saying you have to acknowledge the tragedy. We also. We have to be, when there are citizens that are not in a right frame of mind, we have to, just like in Los Angeles, I mean, this is crazy, but like literally they let people at Home Depot, people who were stealing stuff, they let them go. Why? Because they don't want to deal with the insurance hassle if the person pretends to fall down and hurt themselves. They just don't want to do it. That's how screwed up our legal system is, and the scummy attorneys that would represent them. So, I think when you know that there's something like this, they have to, calmer heads have to prevail. And it is.
So you're saying he shouldn't have shot?
I'm saying he obviously defended himself. I'm saying he should not have. In my opinion, I'm not a police officer. I've never been in the armed services. I'm saying that it was a preventable. That I wish that in situations like this, just like in Los Angeles, or just like when there's car speed chases, you got to let them go. Don't get in front of the car. And I think that's dangerous for everybody involved. Yes. If there's somebody speeding, it's more dangerous in a speed chase to interfere and then
But
just
that wasn't a speed
let them
chase,
go.
though. That was a parked car.
She did on purpose, which she came and
She
set up
did
with
on
her
purpose.
wife.
Absolutely.
Her wife or whatever got out of the car and she said, "But Rob, because I was
Her wife?
hold on, I was a security forces member in the United States Air Force. When it comes to that type of thing, and you're doing a convoy and somebody's blocking you off, the fear of an ambush, meaning people coming from the side and shooting, you can't be a stationary target. So what she's doing, and mind you, I want to say one thing. This girl, Renee Good, she was an Ice Watch warrior. She was trained to do exactly what she was doing, to resist, to get in their way, to blow whistles, and do all that stupid stuff that she's doing. I understand 100%.
No,
it's
but
avoidable.
she's still-
But can I show one thing really quick, Pat? Rob, show the video of this police officer. By the way, this is a military veteran from Baltimore. This is an older video of Amy Caprio, who was run over. And by the way, this was on the news, Pat, so they're going to show it. Look at how fast this situation, she's to the side, goes from, hey, get out of the car, to she is dead, and her audio was live of her dying on this call. So look how fast this happens. Go ahead, Rob. This person's in the car. They get in the car. Check this out. Well, boom, done. She's dead. She's dead. So in this situation, again, the blame goes to the Democratic Party, who has been pushing this rhetoric for years.
I agree.
Nazi, Gestapo, and everything.
I agree.
And Rob, to be honest with you, this is what they wanted. This is what Tim Walz, this is what Ilhan Omar, this is what Gavin Newsom, when they say get in the street, get in their face, resist, take off your mask, what do you have to hide for?
100%.
This is a
I'm
direct
agreeing
result.
with you.
Direct
I'm agreeing with
result.
you. However, I'm agreeing with
they want
all
their body,
that.
They want their name.
I
And
agree.
now they have it.
Yeah, they wanted somebody to they wanted a martyr that they could use
sure.
for because they don't care about people. None of those
But we can't say the
politicians.
cops should have let her go because, by the way, Rob,
What
if
I'm
they want-
saying,
if
no,
they
no,
drive
no,
over
no,
your
no.
foot,
I'm saying, look, I'm saying in what they did by that officer firing and getting in front of the car gave them what they wanted. They gave them the shift of the narrative to the unbelievable graft and corruption and fraud by the Democratic Party to the tune of $900 billion potentially, as Elon Musk said. It could be anywhere from 300 to 900 billion. Literally, it could if you take away the corruption and the fraud from the Democratic Party, it could lower our taxes. Literally, anyone under $500,000 making that, anyone $500,000 or less would pay zero taxes. That's the kind of corruption that Elon Musk thinks we have, those numbers. All I'm saying is simply this. I agree with you 100%. And the fact that there is nobody, that the same people have a certain zero empathy for an officer who's killed in the line of duty exposes them for their hypocrisy and that this is just all politics.
Let's do this. Let's listen to what JD has to say. Let's see, because I've been trying to play this JD clip, G. Go ahead and play the clip.
And I agree
Go
with
ahead.
JD.
I was actually walking out here. Somebody sent me a photo of a CNN headline about what happened in Minneapolis. And this is the headline. I'm just going to read it. Outrage after ICE officer kills U.S. citizen in Minneapolis. Well, that's one way to put it, and that is the way that many people in the corporate media have put this attack over the last 24 hours. And I say attack very, very intentionally, because this was an attack on federal law enforcement. This was an attack on law and order. This was an attack on the American people. The way that the media, by and large, has reported this story has been an absolute disgrace, and it puts our law enforcement officers at risk every single day. What that headline leaves out is the fact that that very ICE officer nearly had his life ended, dragged by a car 6 months ago, 33 stitches in his leg. So you think maybe he's a little bit sensitive about somebody ramming him with an automobile? What that headline leaves out is that that woman was there to interfere with a legitimate law enforcement operation in the United States of America. What that headline leaves out is that that woman is part of a broader left-wing network to attack to dox, to assault, and to make it impossible for our ICE officers to do their job.
1000%
If the media
right.
wants to tell the truth, they ought to tell the truth that a group of left-wing radicals have been working tirelessly, sometimes using domestic terror techniques to try to make it impossible for the President of the United States to do what the American people elected him to do, which is enforce our immigration laws. The President stands with ICE.
can pause it
I
right
stand
there,
with
Rob.
ICE.
1000% agreed with everything he had to say. And it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a tragedy. And he also said it. I think he also said it's a tragedy. We have to know that a human life here was manipulated and is lost. And all what I'm saying is absolutely the officer was defending himself, but I wish he didn't fire. And I also think that we have to do everything we can in a situation to not put yourself in harm's way. What she did was putting herself in harm's way. And I'm not an officer. This is just my opinion. Is that you cannot give fuel to
Tom, what are you thinking with
to
this?
this.
You're a reasonable guy.
What I think is, Rob, maybe that's true, but let's back up a second. Who was in harm's way? The officer
Yes.
first was in harm's way,
Yeah.
and then she didn't put herself in harm's way. She suffered the consequence of interfering with a live law enforcement engagement. That's what happened. And J.D. Vance is right. They want the mainstream media is still run by liberals that hate Trump. And as Conan O'Brien said, it's F Trump, F Trump. So guess what? Now they have their body. Now they have their George Floyd T-shirt.
And
now they have
all I'm
their
saying is
George
that I think
Floyd
that was
mural. Hang
avoidable,
on,
no matter
hang on.
what.
They've got their George Floyd mural now. Now it's a woman. Fantastic. Now they got a little equal opportunity in their martyr cast.
I'm saying that you're
think
dealing with
J.D.
people that
Vance
are
is correct,
manipulated.
and I think we need to support it.
Yeah, I mean,
Sheriff in Florida came out yesterday, Pat, in the afternoon and said, let me just say something, folks. If you're going to interfere with law enforcement in Florida, this is exactly what you're going to have here, because we are going to ensure that our law enforcement feel safe on the job and supported. There he is, so that they stay on the job and they don't quit or retire
Absolutely.
early,
Well, you have-
because we need law enforcement to protect you, the public.
We need it. And the degradation and the demonization from the left attacking ICE officers verbally and physically is beyond disgraceful. And it's created this dangerous situation. But I'm saying is, since we know that it's a dangerous situation, I guarantee that the ICE officers have to adjust accordingly, because you're not, and I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying that you have people here, or like this woman, who's clearly not in a frame of mind. You got to know that they are. The officer didn't know that. He doesn't know who this person. He doesn't know if there's a person armed. He doesn't know if there's a person. If there's other people that could be in the vehicle that are armed. He does not have that information. All he knows is there's somebody now impeding his job. However, all that in mind, I guarantee you the ICE officers, they have to, they also, part of that training has to be, they're not dealing with rational, normal people, which has to, at the same time, heighten their awareness in a already extremely difficult job where you
I
have...
really don't know what you're saying, Rob. Respectfully.
The demonization...
I have no clue what you're
I'm
saying. I'm listening
that
to
they
you right
have
now,
to
trying
train,
to see.
Officers, they have
So
to be like,
get
they're
out the way
crazy
and let
people.
the guy go and have to stop the person again at another place and then let him go again and then stop him at another place. Let's play that logically. This makes zero sense to me. So feel free to push back because you're a reasonable guy. I can't comprehend your reasoning.
Don't be in front of the car because they can go forward. Don't be in back of the car because they back up.
Don't drive over a cop.
Absolutely.
Get out of your car.
So
when he
that's
says get out
that's
of the car.
breaking the
Get out
law.
of
It's
the
like
car.
saying, hey, when these guys are coming around, crossing the border illegally, guys, let's not hurt them. Let's not let's just tell them,
different.
please go
But if
back and do that. I
No.
mean,
But if it's a truck that's coming over the border, get out of the way.
if it's a truck coming over the border, I'm
Get out of the
bombing
way
the truck.
and then wait and then
I'm blowing up the truck.
Yeah, well,
I'm being serious with you.
yeah.
If a truck is coming, if
I
I'm
agree
a
with
job
that.
of being
Don't
a cop,
stand in front of it. Yeah, blow it up and stand to the
and
side.
that's exactly what
I
he
agree
did.
with you. I agree.
So-
if there's
so-
a truck coming across the border,
Yeah.
absolutely, you got to fire. You
Yeah,
got to protect
so
your country.
I'm trying
Protect
to
your
really.
country.
So Adam, where are you? You haven't
let me
said
just give
anything
a
about
different
this yet.
perspective. If
And
you may.
look, I'm not disagreeing with anything you guys are saying, but J.D. Vance, I'm saying now you have to know you're dealing with mental people. You have to know you're dealing with people that are not in right frame of mind. You have to know that going in, and you have to, yes, officers have to protect themselves. That comes first.
Vinny, his gear, faith over fear, tens of thousands of pieces sold out in a couple weeks. Tell us about faith over fear, Vinny.
Well, just letting everybody know, I appreciate everybody that's getting on board. I saw a guy at the airport that was wearing the faith over fear. I was at a diner and some guy patted me on the back and was like, hey, what is that all about? And he wanted to know what Hebrews 11 chapter 1 was, and we got into a really good conversation. And I know I always talk about faith over fear being like in the Bible with the centurion soldier whose kid was healed, where Jesus just said, go, because of your faith, it's going to be healed. And the woman that had the bleeding issue that pushed through the crowd, that just touched Jesus's hem of his clothing, and he was healed. So I want people to know that that's back in the biblical days. Faith over fear still applies today. It's, it's what starting a business when the numbers scare you, speaking the truth when silence feels safer. Fear waits for comfort, and faith moves with conviction. You guys can go on there right now. We have a hat that's coming soon. I don't want to give it away, but you guys can go to, is it FLB?
VTmerch.com.
Oh, VT Merch. Go to VTmerch.com. Guys, we have hoodies, we have hats, rocket, and let people know where you stand.
I love it. Go to VTmerch.com, place your order, buy it for yourself, your friends, your peers.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.